Get back, the skill. Get back, for my people.
I'm SABC. Stay tuned for the next half hour as we get up close to multi-talented duo Mandla and Tumi. It was back in 2002 when the public took notice of Tumi and Mandla as part of the award-winning urban pop group Gang of Instrumentals, which fused different sounds from hip-hop to soul, raga and rock. But it was with the creation of a comedy, City Ses'la, which became the second largest local show on TV after generations, that the entertainment world knew that this couple were a force to be reckoned with, and we are privileged to have you guys here on Up Close.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
what's up? It's good to be
Thank you
here.
for making the time.
Thank you.
I'm still blown away. I remember when I first heard Gang of Instrumental, I was like, who are these guys? Where did they come from?
It was exciting for us as well. I remember the first song on radio.
Yeah, man. First time getting played on radio.
Yeah, we were taking down our windows, we were in the car and checking, what are they listening to? What are they listening to? Are they listening to our song? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
It was very exciting.
Okay, let's take it right to the beginning. Where did you grow up? Let's start with you, Tumi. Where are you from?
Nah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm from Diepkloof, Soweto.
Okay.
Born Kopara. And yeah, I had a little stint living Go Limpopo in Petersburg.
Okay.
And then, yeah, back to the hood in Soweto and Diepkloof with my mommy and daddy.
And you from Pimville?
Yeah, Pimville, Soweto, you know,
Okay.
yeah, Pimville, Soweto. Yeah, I mean, geez, born, bred in Soweto, you know. Yeah, I don't know any other place than the hood, obviously, Pimville. You know?
I'm in such a hurry to get to the point. I was like, so how did you meet? But before we get there, I mean, school years to me, what kind of a person were you? Let's go back to those days. Did you know that you could sing? Did you know you had a gift for acting and for writing, etc.?
Not really. I mean, I didn't look at it like that when I was a child because where I come from, in my family, everybody could sing, everybody could stand up and perform. So it wasn't a unique trait, you know. In fact, actually, I remember quite a couple of times when the family would be singing, like, you know, songs for church and gospel music, and my mother would go, hey, no, you're not getting the notes, just keep quiet, you know? Yes. And then when I made it to college and I said, Mom, I want to go into the arts and all of that, she was very surprised. And when I made it to the finals of Idols and they were coming to our house to interview her, she was like, this one is singing on Idols.
Yes.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was she surprised? Was there no indication while you're growing up that you're gonna take that direction? Were you a bookworm? What?
Yeah, I was very much focused on my work and homework and school because that's the channel that my father was really focusing on. He really believed that, you know, I should be an academic. And, you know, being daddy's girl, I followed that completely. And if you speak to some of my schoolmates from school, most of them are like, I am so shocked that you are in the limelight because, no offense to me, but you were like part of the background. You were the like little child. We only knew you when they were like calling you up on stage to get like colors for academia or whatever. But other than that, I was a quiet
Interesting. Very interesting. Mandla, and you?
Yeah.
I think you were very naughty.
Yeah,
always in trouble. I'm sure of it.
No. I mean, you know, I've always been an entertainer, you know.
Okay.
And obviously, growing up, Ekasi, you know, you always, you know, hang out at the corner. And then obviously, Nyalanzana, you know what I'm saying? You know, everyone's just making fun of each other. And at school plays, I did a lot of school plays. And yeah, you know, so that's how I grew up, you know. And obviously, within my family, you know, there's like a lot of boys, you know, so you understand, we constantly chirping, constantly just, you know, outdoing each other and all of that. And, you know, so I grew up with that competition and it ended me pretty much right here. And then that's when, obviously, after high school, I went to AFDA, you know, just to take it further, to really study the craft.
So were you clear from the beginning that, you know what, I like the entertainment industry?
Well, I was kind of like, you know, a 40s boy, you know, 45. On a good day, 50. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you should be saying that on national.
You know, yeah, 50%, 40%. So I knew, okay, cool, my line has to be the arts, you know what I'm saying? I can't go and be a doctor, you know, a lawyer or anything like that, you know?
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, you know, I have to entertain
So I'm sure
people.
even your parents did not even sit you down and say, are you sure you want to go into the arts? They were like, please, just go get a job.
My mom was pretty like, you know, upset. She was going, geez, you want to go play? Because I'm like, no, Mom, I want to go do plays, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know, for them, they don't understand, you know, it's plays. So, no, so patalimali for you to go play. That's not going to happen, you know.
Yes.
But then, you know, obviously, I managed to convince them, and obviously, after they were like, no, you know, this guy is pretty talented. He's good at what he does, and let him try it out. And I went to, obviously, after I excelled. So that was pretty cool, you know, I felt great. I went from the 40s to the 50s in high school to the 70s, 80s, 90s at after, you know. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Did you think you gained a lot of your confidence during that phase?
Nah, I mean, you know, I used to be a soccer player, you know, so obviously confidence came from way back, you know, when I was growing up as well, you know. And also, you know, you're from Pimville, so there's a lot of people, a lot of boys, a lot of, you know, and also what happened when I was young, all the way till standard 4, I went to you know, what was it? Soweto school. So a lot of people, a lot of boys. So you had to constantly be, you know, so you constantly have to stick out, you know, and stand out. And that's where I developed my confidence. I mean, you had like 112 people in the class, so you have to be seen, you know. So that's
So then, how does the intellectual academic who's going to go study film actually get to come together with the rebel rouser, you know, streetwise guy? How did this happen?
So we were in college, both of us at AFDA.
Okay.
And of course, my father, I think he was utterly disappointed that I've, you know, chosen this path as my career path. And I remember Mandla, he used to hang out at the boom gate with these boys. And they were always like, nebare, pa, and doing all of these things. I was just like, oh, that's so Lakshan cultured. Oh my gosh. Because I was that girl then. And it turns out he didn't think much of me either.
Really?
She had pink hair, well,
it
orange
was supposed
hair.
to be red.
Red, yes, red. So
wrong.
it was an off red.
Okay.
You know?
So she was already like, she was this
She
punk.
was already on that other tip, and we were like, you know, guys from
Suburbia.
The yeah, you know. So it was like, no. It was one of those, and and then obviously we started working together. We started vibing, you know, obviously being in the same class at college. And and then, geez, the rest
Okay,
is history.
let's hold it. I want to take a break and we continue getting up close with Tumi and Mandla. Do you have any suggestions or comments for us? My Twitter handle is @Tshepi. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us as we continue to get up close with Tumi and Mandla. Okay, so you're now in college, the suburban snow from a private school, streetwise, you start working together. What happens? What came first? Respect for each other's craft? When did the magic start?
I think I'd like to hope it was respect for each other's craft. He was brilliant, you know, at school. Outside of the boom gate chilling with the rough boys.
Yes.
When we got into class, he was very amazing. He was a jack of all trades and a master of all. You know, he would try himself at film acting and it was the best. Those films would go to showcase and everybody would go on about his performance. We'd do plays and his scripts would be the best, even though they're acted by other people. He would direct plays and they'd be brilliant. He'll be acting in them and they'd be brilliant. And I was just like, wow, I have to work with this guy. And I did. And
I told her on the way here that
Yes.
she must say that.
She must say that. Okay. What did she tell you to say? What did she tell you to say?
No,
then?
but she was a singer, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Okay.
obviously, yeah. We used to have these sessions at the, what was it, the Boom Boom Cafe? Yeah, it was the Boom Boom Cafe. We used to have these musical sessions, and geez, you know, yeah, the singing and everything, and everyone knew, okay, Tumi, the singer. But then obviously when it came to acting as well, she was also great, you know. So a lot of people would cast her in terms of, you know, big shows. They showcase pieces and all of that, and a lot of people were attracted to that. And yeah, I mean, that's what attracted me as well, you know, besides the beauty. You know.
So which oh, sweet. Young love. Okay, so, which came first, Gang of Instrumental or the conception that you guys are going to start making films and television together? Which came first?
I think it was Gang of Instrumentals.
Yeah, it was Gang of Instrumentals. It was
Yeah.
Gang of Instrumentals. I mean, we used to do kind of like, you know, the industrial theaters and all of that, you know, yeah, go to mines and go to, yeah, and music was always part of that. So we decided, you know what, man, you know, let's just start a music band, because obviously this is what we do. We love music, you're an amazing singer, and then we can just twist it up, you know. And at the time, you know, people were hungry for something new, new sound, new everything. So obviously we combined the, you know, the soul side of things with the hip hop, and also we added Bongo Riot, who is, by the way, amazing, you know, in terms of songwriting and, you know, just delivery and as a musician all around. And then we just went into studio, and geez, people loved the sound, they loved everything, and yeah.
Were you guys still at school at the time?
We had finished. We had been out. We had graduated now, I think, for a year. And I remember starting Gang of Instrumentals was quite a challenge, because we obviously had no idea how the music industry operates at all.
Yes.
And we started by recording a demo and shopping it around. And
How did that go?
not very well, not very well. We had a lot of rejection.
Yeah.
A lot of people told us, no, the sound that will work for South Africa is like more boom shaka or more bongo muffin. You guys
kwaito.
are...
They wanted
Yeah.
us to do kwaito
Yeah.
and everything, you know. Obviously, I mean, I don't blame them. They wanted to sell albums, you know.
Exactly.
We came in, we're like, no, this is it, guys. People are going to be listening to this. This is, and also as well, you know, we were not detached from the product. We loved it. Every song, you know, we're like, yeah, this is a hit. This is a hit. And it's not really the case, you know.
Yeah. So then you decided to go independent. How
Yeah.
easy was that?
Not at all, not at all. But what we did learn was we learned how to kiss ass very well.
Elaborate, please.
Well, yeah, we really learned to... We really learned, I think, the principle that we now live by in terms of our success is that people work with people they like, you know, and that the music industry, we had to break down the industry and say the industry is made out of people. So reach the person, get to know them and get them to know you, and then you two can help each other along the way. And that's basically how Gang of Instrumentals became, and then Black Brain Pictures or City Ses'la and all of the products that we've done since.
And then let's move forward to you're doing well. I mean, you've got a music
Thank
career,
you.
and I'm sure by that time your parents had stopped complaining. Mandla, your parents have stopped saying you just playing. Things are going well. Why did you decide that, okay, we're going to form a production house and we're going to go into comedy?
No, the production house, actually, it was a kind of like pressure. It was a mistake. Unplanned.
Really?
Yeah, because obviously when we were doing second year,
Yeah.
we wrote City Ses'la, you know, so obviously we wrote the script, everything, and then we shopped it around, brought it to, obviously, the broadcasters. They were like, nah, it's not going to work. Who's going to direct us? Who's going to write us? Who's going to act us? Nah. So
not
who's
gonna work.
producing
And you can
us?
imagine, we're like
Yeah.
22,
Young,
23,
20,
21.
I know, and you're very eager.
Yeah,
You've written the proposal.
And then fate came into play, where there was a big show that was cancelled at the SABC.
Okay.
And then they called us in and said, okay, guys, emergency, you need to produce
Wow.
and have the show on air in 3 months. 4 months.
Yeah.
So we started we were so excited. We started writing. Now, I mean, for the first time ever, you're 20, 21, you're having to manage 4 million, 4.5, 5, you know. So you're just writing, getting the team in, getting everybody in, you know. And yeah, we pitched it, and after the third, fourth episode, it was the highest watched sitcom in the country. So we were like, whoa, we're onto something, you know. You're on top of the world, you start spending money, you start making investments, and then you just lose it all.
Okay, we'll
Till
get there.
second season.
We'll
But
get there. We'll get there. But guys, I mean, that comedy, what do you think it worked? Just before we get to that,
Yeah.
when, you know, it all goes wobbly. What do you think worked about that comedy series? Because everybody loved it. I mean, different types of people.
Yeah.
It just worked.
I think it was the place in which it came from. It came from a very sincere place from all of us. All of us were friends in college. The four
all of the
characters.
actors?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was
casting.
written for ourselves. We were actors who just wanted to act in something that we wanted to do, and we were friends, and we wanted to portray that, and we wanted to portray that. Just because I'm your friend and you're Indian, it doesn't mean I get you.
Yes.
You know, there's still things about you that I'm like, yeah, when's Anlo? You know what I mean? And that, I think, that honesty and sincerity, people connected with that, and people connected with the fact that it is true, we are a rainbow nation, but it doesn't mean that we're completely the same.
I can understand you know what I'm saying? Because obviously at the time, a lot of TV was, you know, someone would speak English and the Zulu guy would answer him in Zulu and the English guy would go, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
That's
think
it,
about
yeah.
it.
That's
So-
it. That's actually what worked. That's exactly what worked. It was not apologetic.
No.
It was saying, yeah, we were from one country, we can share a home, but we don't understand
I
each
don't
other.
understand you, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand you.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
like
gonna take a quick
Indian
break,
food, I
Mandla.
like, you know?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Let me take a quick break and then we'll continue getting up close with Tumi and Mandla. Do you have suggestions for us? Any comments? Do you like to suggest some guests for us? My Twitter handle is at Sepi Mutikuba. Stay with us in CDS. Thank you for staying with Up Close, and we continue to chat to Tumi and Mandla. Okay, so then what happens? Young guys, you go to a film school, you create jobs for yourselves, it works out.
Yeah.
The money comes in, and then what happens?
I mean, you know, so you start office space, nice, lavish office space. You hire people, you hire editors,
PAs.
sound,
Of
PAs.
course.
You know, you start spending money, the cars, you know, the apartments, everything, and it just goes sour, you know. It's just, you know, every single month, you know, there's overheads that you need to constantly feed this business that you've started. And, geez, you know, just downgrading, losing people, you know, because obviously you've realized
can't
you know,
sustain.
you can't sustain it. Yeah, and then luckily, you know, the talent was always there. So we started writing other shows, you know, like Abumzala on SABC, you know, we started writing, you know, Topla and writing other shows and music, other albums, and then it just started picking up again. But then we were wise now, so we packed light.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. What do you think you guys learned from that phase? I mean,
Yeah.
because it's, you know, it's not easy for people to get into the arts and, like, you know, hit the ground running like you guys did, you know?
Yeah, well, we don't
so
tell a lot
that
of
must
people.
have humbled you.
Yes,
It did.
yes, to say the least, because we were never meant to start a company, and we never studied business. None of us knew anything about anything
We're
of that
creatives.
sort.
Yeah.
We'd never read a contract before. We'd never signed a contract before. We'd never managed money. We never managed staff. And being an employer and all of that it means in the law and VAT and PYE and all of that jargon that you're like, eh?
Yes.
So it is humbling. It teaches you that every day is a school day. Unfortunately, you still pay school fees even though you're a professional, because once the money is lost, it's lost. You learn on the job. And as a result, it's humbled us and made us better business people and realize that you can't just be creative in life. You know, there's a reason why doctors take 7 years to become a doctor. And Rona, you just study for 3 years, you're an actress or you're a singer. you want to go and make it huge. You know what I mean? So we had to make up for that 7 years by learning now the actual business of entertainment.
Yeah.
And Black Brain is doing very well since then.
Thank you.
But now I'm interested, you know, when you guys sit down, I was like, they work together, they live together, they family together, they eat together. Don't you get tired of each other? Yeah, there it is.
No. I mean, we've got a big team. We've got a big team. We've got a great team. And obviously, you know, when I'm working on a certain project, she's working on another project. And then obviously, you know, during the day we won't see each other because she's creative on another thing. I'm doing another. And then when we come home, you know, we have to tell each other it's okay, no more work. We love movies together, so we watch a lot of movies. And we've got little ones, so they take their attention as well. And yeah, it's just, great. Actually.
How easy is that, Tumi, to take off your work hat when you get home and see this guy not as that manager who disagreed with you during a meeting, but see him as my husband?
There is no hat. You know, unfortunately, because creativity is who we are, it's not really work, it's who we are. So when we get home, if we had a fight at work, likely chances are we're going to resolve it, you know. It does continue because it's who we are. But it's all we know also, you know. We've been in the same class and working together since we were at college. So we can't compare and say, you know, when I didn't work with you, it was like this. So because we don't know any other life, we can't, we have no point of reference. So we have to make it work.
Okay, let's go into the home now. Who does what? Who does the cooking? Who does taking care of the kids? You know, who's the bossy one?
She's the bossy one.
She's the bossy one. In what way, Mandla?
Eh?
Why you say she's the bossy one?
I mean, you know how women are, you know, they want
His
their
voice
things,
has changed.
You know, they want all their things in kind of, you know, placed proper and all of that. And I'm from, you know, a big family, so I'll put my shoes on the table or do, you know what I'm saying? Or leave things lying around. And she's like, no, you got to do this and this and this. And it's just learning the compromise, pretty much.
Is that true to me?
I don't know what he's talking about. He's the one that always complains about neatness. But no, but truthfully speaking, I mean, I really am very fortunate to be with someone who he understands the craft that we do. So when we have very long hours and, you know, when we get home and you're not up to cooking or you're not up to, he doesn't place that pressure on me to be a homemaker, a traditional homemaker as you would think of it, you know. And, you know, he's, as he said, have a very good team as well at home, you know, where we have, you know, our parents, our support systems, you know, the nanny who help us to keep everything together. And, you know, even at work, you know, we work with really amazing people who would go the extra mile for us to make sure that our visions become reality. And with him being so supportive as a woman, I'm able to, I suppose, go the extra mile in my career and be able to be who I am while knowing that I've got him as a support base when we get home. So it's working out well.
He looks surprised. Are you surprised?
No.
She's talking about you this way, Mandla?
No. She usually puts me down, but I'm surprised that she's, you know...
I put you down.
I'm coming out as the man here, you know, so that's great.
Yeah. No, but guys, you know, honestly, a lot of young people out there who are trying to start families, trying to work, and some are working together, some are not. But what would be your kind of advice to young couples out there who are trying to, you know, make an urgent living for themselves? Mandla?
Oh, okay,
Yes,
me, yeah.
yes, you.
Jeez, read your contracts. You know, that's a big thing, especially for young people who are starting up. You know, contracts are hectic, you know what I'm saying? I mean...
Which contract is that one? The marriage contract?
No, not the marriage contract. Every contract, especially business contracts, you know, because, you know, I mean, companies are out there to catch you out, rightfully so. They're protecting themselves. So, obviously, when you're coming in, you must always know what you're getting yourself into. And, yeah, rehearsals, you know your craft. I mean, you know, constantly be prepared because, you know, opportunity, when it meets preparation, then that's really proper. Because there's a lot of opportunities, but sometimes, you know, they catch you off guard. You're not prepared. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, you know, just constantly be prepared when it comes to your craft.
To me?
I think we are living in an era where we are afforded so many opportunities. Mara re-emetseng somebody to come and give it to us. You know, I would urge a lot of young people to take it into their own hands. You know, I always say we get a lot of calls, people saying, I want to come and intern as a producer, or I've got this demo for you guys, or whatever the case may be. And my urge to everybody is that at the end of the day, if you're going to be a singer or an actress or a presenter, you know, that's your journey. It's yours. Claim it and make sure that you're going for that goal. And when it comes to your relationship or your personal life, there is no manual. There's no right or wrong. Just kind of go with what feels right, but at the same token, realize that failure is not now an error. You know, it's not like, okay, start again, it's over, game over. It just means there's a lesson that you need to learn. And if you stick with it, if you believe in what you're building, whether it be business or with someone, stick with it. Stick through the bad times and the good times, because that's, you know, life is yin and yang.
Yeah, stick with what works. You know?
All right. Guys, thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. I think our viewers did too. And that's how we're going to wrap up today's edition of Up Close. Catch us same time weekdays on SABC News, DSTV channel 404. You can catch some of our favorite episodes on the website, youtube.com/SABC News. And of course, my Twitter handle is @Tsepi Mutsikula. Till next time, bye-bye.